So I'm going to show you how I assemble my lambs. Now I can't show you the pieces and parts that was created by someone else, but what I'm going to show you is what I do. These are all the parts that a lamb needs. And as you can see, I will take and make all of my bodies. I've made 6 of them. I will then take and make all of my heads. I do cut all of the foam board pieces out at once, and then I'll go back and cut out all of the felt pieces, and then if it requires another fabric, I'll cut out all my fabric pieces. And then I kind of do it like in an assembly line. What I'll do is I'll take all my feet and put the felt on the feet, and then I'll join the feet, the front with the back. With my ears, I'll go ahead and attach the inside of the ear to the outside and do that on all of my ears. I'll go through my faces and stuff them and add the felt to them, and then so forth and so on. So it's kind of like in an assembly line, so then when you're making more than one, it's faster and easier to get them all done. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to restock my lambs. I'm going to restock 6 white and 2 blacks. So I'm going to let you watch me put the whites together. We'll go through a couple of the steps until you get bored, and then you can click off, but my intent is to get these listed for the weekend. So I need to get them finished tonight. So let me get my clips out. It's too windy to do any photos or anything outside, so I'm working inside today. So I take my lamb's ear, and I don't want it just to be flat. Flat is boring. See, that's boring. I mean, it looks okay, but it's boring. So what I do is I take it and I fold it. I give it a little fold so that it has a crease in the ear, okay? Oh, my glue gun's not heated up yet. What I'll do is I'll fold it in half. I'll put a dot of glue on there and clamp it. Clamp it. And then I'll attach it to the face. Now, I don't actually add my eyes and everything until the very end. I get all my little noses, and I'll add, now I cut this part off. I'll add my nose and my mouth and my eyes as my last step, because then I also take a lint brush or a lint roller, and I'll roll over everything to make sure that all of the glue strings are off of it and all of the lint and extra trimmings that I did. Make sure it's nice and clean. Okay? And those are the steps I follow. I know I'm not all together, but you all get the gist. I'm not a teacher. Since Easter is coming up, these lambs sold out, so I want to restock them. They do make adorable attachments. This is what our lamb looks like finished. This is my black one. It has the blue eyes. Really nice little bell and a green bow. I did the green bow so that it would be generic, because you could use these for baby showers. You could put these on the wall, set them up in a frame holder on the cake table or the gift table. You could put it on the front door and say, with a banner that says baby shower or congratulations. It's just an all-purpose attachment. It measures, let's see, it's about 9.5 inches wide, and we'll say 12 inches tall. So it's not overly large, and it's just a nice little decoration that you can use either on a wreath, on a swag. You can put it in the center of a garland. Again, you can just put it on the wall of a baby shower or in a baby's room. Or you can put it on the table in the centerpiece. Let's go ahead and put that aside. Then I take my ears. Now I've glued this flat because this would look funny on a stuffed part. So in the flat section, this is how the head would go on. So I want my ears to be right here. Okay? So I want my ears to be about about where the fluff starts. I put a dot of glue on there. And it doesn't take a whole lot of glue. You don't have to use a whole stick to glue these on. It just takes a little bit. Ouch. I burnt to my finger. Oh, why isn't that going on right? Oh, because I put glue on the wrong side. Duh! I get an F for effort. Okay? And then what I'll do is I'll come to the back and just put another little dollop of glue on the seam where it connects to the face. Okay? And that's how I put my ears on. I'll set that aside to cool off, and I'll do the next one. By doing it in an assembly line fashion, it enables you to get everything done in one go. It also makes it faster. I mean, it may not look like it's faster, but it is. Now, I don't normally make wreath attachments. I started it because I wanted a wreath attachment and I couldn't find it, so that I went ahead and made me one. And then after I made myself one, I thought, well, if I'm making one, I might as well make a dozen. So I started making more than one, and then I put them in my shop and sell them. Now, my wreath attachments are not the big, over-the-top, fancy attachments. When I do wreath attachments, I like for them to be the supporting player in your wreath. I don't want them to be the center point or focal point, because it's your artwork. Your wreath is your artwork, and I like to see your artwork shine through, not my wreath attachment. So I usually size my wreaths and attachments and make them so that they're more of a supporting role in somebody's finished product and not the focal point. Okay, and then we just continue on. I'm making 6 of the white ones. I've already finished off 2 of the black ones. 2 of my black wreaths. There we go. In my shop, I do have other wreath attachments available. I just finished a queen bee. I made her all fancy with a gold trim, a crown. She's got gems and glitter, you know, a real queen. I have a cow. Let's see, I have 2 XL bullies. Oops, what's that say? Oh, I have 2 XL bullies. Coming up for Halloween, I have candy corn with a bow and a little ghost emblem on it. I have hearts. I have a hot cocoa mug. I have cake pops. Cake pops are great for Easter. You can put them in your arrangements or on your wreath. They look like real cake pops. I have a rocking horse ghost. I think all my ducks are sold out. I might have to make some more yellow chicks. I think I sold those out. I'll have to double check. But I have a beautiful little red chunky cardinal. Cardinals aren't just for Christmas, you know. Cardinals are great in the springtime. Anytime you've got a bird lover, someone who likes watching the birds, backyard birds, likes to feed the birds. I put one of the attachments on my deck to decorate my screened-in deck. Okay, so there's our ears. This one should be dry now. And there we go. We got our little ears. And when we attach our fur. It will go on his head just like that. And see, the ears came out in the perfect place. Now when I sell my attachments, I will put wreath attachment pieces in here so that you can attach them how you want them. You know, if you're going to put this in a wreath, you would want 2 attachment points. So what I give you is 2 cable mounts and 2 pipe cleaners. So you would put them like this and this, okay? But if you're putting this in a centerpiece, you don't want that on there. That would be out of place. You would probably just want 1 or 2 down here so that you could put in a dowel rod or a skewer and attach it to your centerpiece. If you're putting it in a swag, you may want it sitting cattywampus like this. Or if you're putting it in a garland, you may want them from side to side. So I don't pre-attach the mounts. I let you decide where you want your mounts and how you want to mount it. So in each kit, with each wreath attachment, you will get an attachment kit. You'll get 2 of these things. Can you see them? They're called cable mounts. They use them when they string cable for computers and telephones. It holds the cables, but we can use them for our pipe cleaners. So I give you 2 of those and 2 20-inch pipe cleaners. I think they're 20-inch. But anyway, so let's move on. I've got 3 more here to do. Now my next project I'm hoping to make is some cats. I've got a desire to make a leopard. Don't ask me why. I have no clue. I just think that I saw a pattern, a wreath attachment for a black cat, and I thought, ooh, what if we made that black cat into a leopard? And then I got to thinking, well, you know what? If I make a leopard, I can make a lion. Get some fur trim, put it around the lion ears. I think that would look cute too. I mean, isn't Leo coming up? Leo's birthday, isn't that in June? But if I'm making a lamb, a lion and a lamb would go together on a preschool or a church Bible study. That would look cute, you know, in the children's Bible study. Have the lamb and the lion. Okay. I don't know. I just see things and they may be meant for one purpose, but then I look and say, oh, you know what? I can do this with it, or I can do that. I have a handmade rolling pin, hand-turned out of wood, and instead of using it as a rolling pin, I got it hung on the wall as a decoration in my kitchen because the wood grain is beautiful, and if you use it, you're going to mess up that wood grain. Let me get my ear. Okay. So why mess up some beautiful art? I know it's just a rolling pin, but the wood grain is beautiful. Let's go ahead and add this ear. I thought about making my cardinal and making it into a blue jay or a bluebird, you know, for the bluebird of happiness. I'll have to work with that and experiment, see how it looks. But I thought that would look cute. Have a bluebird. Okay, there we go. This one's dry. And this one's dry. Now on some of my wreath attachments I will cover the back, depends on what they are and how heavy they are. If I think they're going to be too heavy to cover, because whatever you put that cable mount on is going to pull, and I prefer putting it on the straight board instead of on a layer of felt. But I do have a couple that I did put a backing on. And here's our last. Put on our last set of ears. Just like this. Oop, I did not glue around this one. How about this one? Did I glue this one? Yep. No, it's still sticky. Okay. Well, that wasn't too smart. Now I use the Gorilla Glue. Use high temp. That way if it's sitting on your front door and the sun shines on it, it won't melt your glue and have your attachments falling off. Okay, our next step is to take these and we're going to glue these on. Now I've put on the back an arrow showing me which way is the top and which way is the bottom. So they're going to go on just like this. I need to get my bigger clamps out. Give me just a minute. Okay. So you can either use these type of clamps to clamp down, or you can use a weight. I have an antique iron that I can also use to weight down and hold them while the glue cools. So what I've done is I've glued this flat and I've stuffed this part. You notice I have a marking as to which is the top, which is the bottom. Now I don't put glue on my piece. I don't put glue on this piece. I put glue down here. This is where it's attaching to. So I will put my glue there. I put a lot of glue. I want to make sure it stays. Okay. Position this to where I want it, and then I hold it down. I can put my iron on it. This is just an old-fashioned iron. I'm sorry. Bad joke. That they used back in the day. Okay, let's go ahead and take these off. That one's still sticky. Set those aside because they're still sticky. Take this one. This is number 6. And number 6. Put on the glue. Put this where I want it. Make sure it's sitting. Now if you use the clamps, all you do is take them and then clamp each side. Clamp each side of your project. My hands are not very strong, so I struggle with these. And then you would clamp it like that, and it holds the both pieces together. So either method is fine. Do whatever you want. Number 4. Does anybody have any questions? If you want to make your own wreath attachments, I get my patterns from Derica's Designs. You can go to her website, which is Derica's with an S, DEREKAS designs.com. She may have a few pre-made attachments available. I don't think she does kits anymore. I'm not sure, but I get my patterns from Derica. She's got a wide assortment of gorgeous attachment patterns. And she's got them from beginner level all the way up to experienced. Okay. Number 1. And see how fast these come together? And there's your little sheep head. Isn't he adorable? Now, like I said, I put the face on last. So the next step would be to attach him to his body, which would be like this. Now, I did put a little bit of fiber fill around his body to give him a little fatter, fluffier look. In making wreath attachments, the most time-consuming part is cutting out the foam board and the felt. Well, the foam board, first off, felt secondly. Once you get everything cut out, stuffing the pieces don't take very long. And if you do an assembly line method like I'm doing, it doesn't take long to put everything together. This is number 3. See, already we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're doing number 5, and the heads of our attachment is all finished. And that took just a few minutes. Hey, Megan, you sold out all of my lambs, so now I have to make some more. Megan made a beautiful wreath, gal versus glue gun. You should go to her Etsy shop and see that adorable wreath she made with the lamb. She did a wonderful job. I was tickled pink to see it. Megan is one of the creative coaches for Deco Exchange. She coaches on Sundays. If you're interested, you can go to creativecoaching.com and you can sign up, or you can go to Gal versus Glue Gun. She has a links page. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll post it in the comments when I repost this, just so that you can check her out. There we go. Now, if any of you are interested, I know the talk of the town is Joann's going out of business sale. Their felt is down to $4 a yard, but you have to buy a minimum of 2 yards. It's the only drawback. However, it's a good price for felt. So if you're interested or you're thinking about making your own attachments, that's a deal you might want to get into. Okay, so we'll let all those cool, and that's it on the heads. So the heads are all assembled. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bodies, okay, we're going to match them up. Now you can see I left a space for the glue. Okay, this is number two, and we're going to glue the head down to the body like so. Can you see? You want the head to fit mostly here so that you have a solid background to glue to, and then you want the overlap over that. And what that does is it pushes the ears a little forward, and it gives your lamb a little chunky appearance, just like that. Thank you. Megan is just an absolute sweetheart. Whenever I feel down and depressed, she always seems to make me happy again. She's always so giggly and bright and happy. I actually made a heart wreath attachment set based on her personality. It's a leopard set because she's crazy about her cats. So I made her made a leopard themed heart attachments based on her. I did strawberry for Tammy Harris. Tammy is crazy about strawberries. And so we're going to hold this down, put our weight on it. We want to make sure to stay down. Now, since this piece is so thick, I will probably clamp it and then put the weight. Oops, it's not going to like that. Let me go ahead and clamp it. Now, if you feel the back, you can feel that the glue has cooled. Okay, so there's our little body. Next, what we'll do is then add the feet. And that's how we assemble the lamb. It's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of time once you've completed all of your pieces. I still have to put resin over the eyes, but then we'll add the face after everything is assembled and put together. Also, glue strings are everywhere, and I don't like glue strings going across my eyes, so I make sure everything is cleaned up first before we move on to that part. Okay. Let's do our next one here. I label all of my pieces. I number all of my pieces. OCD, I guess, I don't know. They're all the same, doesn't matter. It makes me feel better knowing that I put all my pieces together. Okay, so we're going to just put our glue down. Now this is the piece that's going to support your wreath attachment, so you want to make sure everything is attached to it securely. You don't want to put in too much glue so that it squeezes out around the top piece, but you want to make sure you add enough that it's going to be secured. I'm going to lay that on there. Make sure it's good and centered. Hold it down. Okay. Then I will get my clamps. Clamp it down. Oops. It pulled up. Give me just a second. I need to put some more glue down here. Oh, he's got a little, what do they call those? Little swirls in your hair? I forget what they're called. Had a little alfalfa action going. There we go. Does anybody else in the comments make wreath attachments? Now sometimes I overstuff them, and when I overstuff them, the board doesn't set level when I stack my attachments. What I do is I have a habit of making the face too fat, so when I go to glue it down, it will pop up because it's not level. Don't ask me why. I just like a fluffy, furry face. Okay. Make sure everything's on their level. I probably should have heated up my bigger glue gun for this instead of using my fine tip one. When everything is cooled and I've got everything done on it, I will pull on pieces and make sure everything is attached securely before I sack them up and get them ready for shipping. And I do make sure that I have all of the attachments that I list on my Etsy shop so that they are all ready to ship when you order. I do not wait until they're ordered to make them. if you order something, there's nothing more frustrating than having to wait weeks for it to get delivered. So I have it on Etsy as 1 day, 1 to 2 day delivery, but I try to make it 12 hours. I try to make it a 12-hour delivery time, or shipping time. I'm sorry, not delivery, shipping. And that's just my personal preference, my personal goals. Okay. There we go. And he's stuck down. Now, if you want to, when you join pieces, you can put a bead of glue along the seam back here. That is totally optional to you. It's not a requirement. If you think that it needs to be more secured, you can do that. Okay. And we're just moving right along. I believe I will have these done and pictures taken and have these listed by tonight, I hope. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, everyone, that's pretty much all that I wanted to show you. I was just letting you know how to do an assembly line and how effective it is when you do the assembly line, how everything moves faster. And maybe I'll come live later when I do the faces, just so that you can see how I attach the faces. But I hope to have these listed before morning, Saturday morning. If you're watching the replay, Saturday morning, have these listed for sale. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate you, and you all have a wonderful